So against the Tahm Kench, you're running Ignite, he's running TP. This is one of the most common matchups last couple of patches. Okay, so from what I think cheesing the Tahm Kench is not the best option, because he basically can't miss his Q if he runs into like this when he's melee range, and his Q heals him a lot. And he is quite strong level 1, not gonna lie. And then he heals up for some of the damage later as well. So I usually don't recommend cheesing in the Tahm Kench matchup, at least since the rework. We place the blade. And then you're gonna see he's in lane, and then we walk to lane, right? So he's taking the push already, which we want to prevent if possible. Okay, so first mistake. The moment you see he's like on the top of the lane, like right here, you want to get yourself so that you can get a drag through. That's your first step. So you're trying to get to this area so that you can get the drag through and then trade him and try to hide behind your minions at the same time. So you're just standing here and trading auto attacks when he's already attacked the minions like enough to actually kill a minion. So he's got the push advantage by a long shot right now. So your only way of taking it back potentially is to get above him and get a good trade onto him with empowered Qs, and then you can maybe push him away potentially. But yeah, you're not gonna be able to contest the wave just by normal Qs right here. And also what you're doing by queuing here is ruining your own blade position and wasting your passive. You just got nothing out of it. And now you have way less of a shot to actually find a good trade. So never queue like that without something that you get from it, you know? Like these kinds of queues are not good. Not good at all. Always make sure that you get a good trade out of a good blade placement, or you're not using Shen's early game like you should be doing. Now it's a little bit tricky to get the blade placement back since Tahm is quite strong level 1 and he's got the push. Yeah. Yeah, use your drag through, attack kite up. Upwards. You're trying to hide behind your minions. Okay, he could have queued you there because your movement was a little bit awkward, but it's fine. Yeah, he's trolling basically. Okay, so you made a bit of a mistake there. So he's trolling and chasing you when he shouldn't, and here your goal is to just keep hiding behind the minions until you have your Q up again. If you walk up here, he's gonna get a free Q onto you, heal a lot of the HP he lost, and stun you, and then he can just disengage, right? So quite a big mistake there that lost you a potential kill. Like he gets to live now and then TP back. You're like, you don't hate this situation right here because he loses some XP, but it would have been much better if you just hid behind the minions here. Don't let them get their stun. Like, I know you're thinking that like, I have Q in 2 seconds, he's overextending, I want the kill, so I'm trying to position here so he can't run away. But that actually lets him do what he wants to and then actually disengage. If you stand behind here, sure, you might be in a slightly worse spot, but if you don't get stunned, that doesn't really matter. Denying him the stun is everything here. He was kind of close to level 2 there too. Could have waited for taunt maybe? No, he couldn't. You know why? Because firstly, he's 2 minions from it, and all the enemy minions are like full HP, so there's no way. Okay. If you're looking to... so like, you have 2 options here. You have 2 options. Either you stay in lane, and if you're looking to stay in lane, then your first step is to place the blade in a good spot before he comes back. Okay, so you finally did it, but you did it too late, because now he's gonna come back to lane, and for 5 seconds after he comes back, you're not gonna have your passive. If you did it instantly, it would have been good, but now you lost some value. But the other option you had was to instantly, when you recall as well. You can do that because these minions are gonna tank for a while, and then your next wave comes in and it's a cannon wave, and the enemy wave is gonna be much bigger, and you're gonna be able to still have time to walk back to lane without losing too much, even if he TP's back, because even a Tahm can take some time to clear this with the cannon and everything, even if he picks W or something level 2. So yeah. Wait, you walked into it. Okay. So first things first. So I'm not gonna comment on you walking into it. That's a mistake, but what's more important here is to trade in the right way. And the right way, when the enemy is in melee range like this, and you have passive and Q and E, for example, you want to use the drag through first, attacking once or twice, and then taunt backwards. That way you're disengaging, but you're also getting the damage you want to. Because now, you instead taunted first, and then you went back in, which means you don't have a quick way of disengaging at this point. So he's just gonna attack you, and then Q you, and then keep attacking you, and you have no way out. And then he's potentially gonna like, he's gonna get a way better trade. Okay, so he's basically trolling. Sure, we take those. Yeah, just kill him. Oh, no. Damn catch. Okay, we still get him. Alright. So here's a bit of a tricky spot, because your minions are actually probably gonna die. Yeah, they're gonna die pretty quickly, quicker than this wave arrives. So if you recall here, you will actually lose this kind of full wave. So what you have to do is like attack these low ones, kill them, kill maybe one more, and once the next wave has come to like here, so it's clear that it's gonna stop the enemy wave from crashing, then you just gotta recall. That's the best option you have. You will lose some minions anyway, but you have to start thinning it and then stall until this wave comes, and then you take your recall. Because if you just recall here, you're gonna lose everything. And if you stay for a long time and don't thin this wave, then the enemy Tahm is eventually gonna come back to lane, and you will never find a recall since you're running Ignite and you don't have TP, right? So you gotta find a way to recall, and this was not really it, because now what happens is that the wave after crashing naturally bounces back to his side, right? So you will have to recall here when he comes back, except if you and Sax somehow like save this, but I don't see it with Kha'Zix being topside as well. And it's gonna push back to him, and then when you recall, you're gonna lose this whole wave, and potentially even more. And you absolutely can't stay in lane here. So like what? Okay, I guess like Tahm is playing it so weird, so you're actually allowed to do this, but a like decent opponent is gonna be like punishing you hard for these kinds of like overstaying mistakes, and that you don't know what to do. Yeah, so this is like a fiesta right now. It might work out for you guys, but this is not a consistent way of winning the game, how you've played this so far. Oh my god, it's just the fiesta. Okay, so yeah, just kill him. Yeah, he's trolling, and he's making him lose this full wave as well. Crazy stuff. And you know what? Even if he stays under tower here and doesn't troll, from this position, your correct choice, even if he didn't troll here, your correct choice was to try to like go in and trade a 1-for-1. Because if you trade a 1-for-1 here, in terms of like gold and XP lost and everything, it's super in your favor, because you know he has used his TP, so he won't be able to catch any of this wave. So you would just walk up, press Q, try to wait for him to attack you once, because then he takes the minion aggro, and then you attack and taunt in place on him, and attack, and he's dead. You can kill him before he even gets to activate his E while he's taunted. Yeah. So you always want to try to get a potion in there when you're buying. So the option I would probably go for is like, instead of cloth and boots, I would buy a null magic mantle and a refillable pot. So now it's pushing back to you. So what does this wave state scream at you? It should scream that you have the perfect opportunity to freeze now. You're ahead at full level, basically. Or more when these, like, if you count these minions. You're ahead super much in gold value. And you're Shen, so you're simply stronger at this point of the game too. So it's like everything is yelling at you that you should like take short trades and then freeze it here for forever and never let him crash into tower and never break this freeze by pushing up the minions. So your first step is always to place the blade. So just walk up and no. So you wanted to look like walk here and place it. And if you can get a drag through trade at the same time, fine. But you don't want to place the blade kind of a little bit awkwardly here. And also like not get anything for it. Okay, so you're playing as if the drag through doesn't matter. Like during the whole lane basically. You're not thinking about how can I get a drag through here. So here, Tahm walks up to you and takes an auto attack. So what if here, instead of standing here and just staying here and auto attacking, what if you kept walking here? Then you would have been inside him right now and you could have just pressed Q and it would have been a drag through. Like even if you didn't have the best blade placement, since he went up and stopped and auto attacked you, you could use that time to walk inside of him, get the drag through, and the trade is 100% better. Then you just get the drag through and attack, use W, whatever, he can't trade you. And suddenly he's like 70% HP and you lost nothing. Like the difference between normal Q and empowered Q is like night and day. It's literally what should be in your mind every single second of the early laning phase. Every single second. It's the key, it's the core of Shen's trading. And you're playing with normal Qs. Then he's a normal top laner. He's like okay, but it's not the early game monster. Small damage? Okay, just look at this. Like read this. Plus 3% max health damage in a normal Q, alright? Plus 6% max health damage in empower Q. So he has put some points in the Q here. But basically it's in addition to the 50% attack speed. So it's like you get off the 3 auto attacks much quicker. They're almost double the damage, or like you can see it. It's like 18% max HP damage plus the base AD. It's just so big, and the normal Q is like a normal ability kind of. It's literally what makes Shen so OP early, but he's not using it basically at all. Okay, so here's another small thing. So after you went for this empowered Q trade, you got 2 auto attacks on him and then he got away, sure. But then he walks back and you blew the last empowered Q that you had on a minion. Whenever you have leftover empowered Qs from a trade that you didn't manage to get onto the enemy, your first reaction should be to just see if the enemy steps up and if you can get it on the enemy, right? And if you can't get the gold on the enemy, then you can actually use it by like waiting until your Q is almost up, so until it's like 1 second away, right? And then you taunt the enemy, use the last empowered Q you had from earlier, and then you use the drag through again because it's up. So then you get 3 additional ones. So in this scenario, you would get 4 empowered Qs in a row onto him, and you're ahead like in items, and you have your W and ignite as well. He just has to run away here, and then he's like stuck because you still have the freeze, and if he's forced to run away and recall, he will lose wave after wave after wave and XP after XP after XP. You gotta punish him here. And so yeah, attacking this minion was poor. Yeah, taunting. Your first option would be to just auto attack him if he went up to you. But if he doesn't, then you could have taunted in here right before your Q came up again, yeah. But you don't want to use empowered Qs on the minions pretty much ever. Okay, he's just inting. Holy shit. Okay, what mistake is this taunt? Why is this bad? Try to take a guess, Porca. Why is this taunt bad? No vision? No, that's not the reason. In terms of the pure 1v1. Like, it's... Like, the jungler is part of it. Okay, this is gonna be won anyway. Like, even with this E, you're still gonna win, but you're still breaking the rules of how to play it. Because now he could maybe technically run upwards and stun you and maybe make it annoying for you and run to the castles or something. But what you should do, yeah, is to just wait for your Q to be up. And then it's like so guaranteed. So whenever you get a trade like this, the enemy is overcommitting, he just takes like all your free Qs on his face and it's low. Then instead of taunting instantly because you're baited by the low enemy, just walk together with him. Walk together with him. If you get stunned, it's no problem because you're standing inside of him, so that you're gonna be in taunt range regardless, even if he stuns you. And then you just walk until you have your Q, and then you taunt, drag through, attack, and he's dead 100% of the time. But right now, when you use your CC and your mobility before your Q is up, he has like counterplay potential. Let's say his Q came up a little bit earlier here. He could have actually potentially ran away, because now your Shadow Dash, your taunt is going to be CD for 13 seconds. That's a long time. He can maybe even get to the last plant here and get away. So yeah. Always like walk with him until your Q is up again. Top is such a long lane that you can do this like pretty much every time. So just walk with him, and when your Q is up, then you taunt and drag through. And another reason is just to guarantee that the next Q is a drag through, you know, because otherwise the enemy might be able to dodge it or sidestep it. If they're taunted, they can never do that. Okay, so here's another small mistake from your part, I would say. If you were playing some champ that's not Shen, then I agree with what you're doing here, to just decide to push this up. If you have wave clear, if you're playing Garen, this is great. The enemy is dead for a long time still. You can just E this wave and then wait for E and just boom, and it's into tower. You can maybe even take a plate and recall. But you're playing Shen. Even with Bami Cinder, Shen's wave clear is really shit. So whenever you see a situation like this, you solo kill the enemy. The wave is bigger on the enemy side. Just clear like one or two. Just kill these two or something, and then take a recall and then walk back to lane. Then the enemy minion is gonna be bigger. The wave is gonna be bigger and keep like pushing to you slowly. But you're gonna get back into lane in order to catch it, and maybe even keep freezing him. And that's like the best scenario, because that's the way you like make the enemy not be able to play the game at all, right? Because now you're trying to shove it in, but you're pushing so shit that he basically, the next wave kinda keeps this from crashing fully, right? All these casters isn't even in range of the cat tower, I think. Yeah. So now the wave is stuck inside of like close to his tower, and you haven't gotten to recall and buy yet with all your gold, and you can't trade onto him because it's so close to his tower, right? So it's simply a bad situation that you created yourself from trying to shove this in when your push was too poor. But instead, if you just thinned it a little bit, like I said, and just backed and walked back to lane, the wave would be here right now, and Tahm would have lost even more minions. Now he actually has a decent wave to catch. If it was here, he would have basically come back to lane to nothing, right? And you would have kept freezing him out, and he's 16 CS and can't play the game for the rest of, like, he will stay level 5 and you will get like level 8. And then he just can't play, and you just carry mid game. It's busy. Like, you will still probably win this game, but it's not as guaranteed as if you did the right moves with the waves, etc. Alright, let's end it there. So that was a lot to cover, for sure. I think the most important thing, though, while the wave management is important and all, I think the most important thing you gotta remember is to play around your drag throughs. Stand in the right spot to get the drag throughs, place your blade more often, more further up. Just play around it all the time, because that's how you win. This time you were so reliant on the enemy making mistakes, you didn't actually force the good trades yourself. And that's not gonna like make you climb super consistently.